Welcome to part 2 of the Pokemon Black commentary. I'm Sid.
I'm Kodo.
And it is spring. And you were saying?
Yeah, okay, so last episode I was mentioning how I would call the gym leaders and they wouldn't be ready for a rematch. I couldn't just call them and they would say, oh, okay, yeah, come over for a rematch. No, it wouldn't happen like that. I would have to catch them at a time when they were available for a rematch. I don't know how it was timed. But I remember.
Yeah, it was timed.
I remember it taking too long for them to decide that they wanted to have a rematch with me. Like, I didn't know if it was based...
Call me when I'm free on, like, Saturdays in the evening.
Yeah, I didn't know if it was based on whether or not you had done a certain amount of stuff, or whether or not a certain amount of time had passed on the actual in-game clock.
Yeah.
Like, maybe you can only rematch them, like, once a week in real time, or something.
But as long as it's that time, as long as it's still that time, you can keep calling him over and over again and get in rematches, as long as it's around that time when you...
I'm not sure.
You can. Anyway, this is Team Plasma, and that is their leader, Getsus.
Yeah.
Or I guess that's how you pronounce that, I don't know.
This game's equivalent of Team Rocket.
Yep. But this one has a different take on that team thing.
Yeah.
These guys are supposedly...
helping Pokemon.
According to them. They actually have, you know, they're not out for... They're supposedly not out for world domination. They're out to free Pokemon and... from their trainers and...
see, that formation when they're walking away always bugged me. Like, there was one guy in front of the stage, and then 3 guys on each side, and then when they got to that corner and turned, there was one guy on the side of the stage and not on the other side of them. And my OCD that...
Maybe that guy was just a fuck up.
It just bugged me. It bugged the heck out of me that the formation wasn't perfectly symmetrical when they turned.
No. Anyway, this is N. He's kind of a rival, I guess, but you find out more about him as things go on.
He's a little strange if you didn't guess that from the music.
Yeah. Especially as you go on, it's pretty messed up. And he's one of the few trainers that actually has an animation.
Right.
In Black and White 2, all the trainers have animations when you go into a battle.
I think it's kind of... I mean, Purloin's really weak, isn't it?
Huh?
Purloin? It's a really weak Pokemon.
I guess.
I mean, it doesn't ever do that much damage, and it has, I guess, a standard amount of HP or defense power or whatever.
Yeah, I guess. I used one at first in Black and White, but then it wasn't doing it for me, so I
caught one, but it was too hard to level it up.
I ditched it at a certain point.
Right. I mean, maybe that changes.
Especially when I found Crocodile, yeah.
Well, maybe that changes once you evolve it, but it just seemed too slow to level up, and it didn't do enough damage.
Well, he's not really doing much damage to me right now.
Right.
Like, one of its attacks is kind of... It could be useful, but it's an attack where it basically uses a random move that one of your other Pokemon knows.
Right.
So sometimes it'll just use a move that's completely useless, and yeah.
It gave you a lot of experience points, though.
Yeah.
See, when I'm this far into the game, I always try to level up my Pokemon by like 10 before going to the next town.
I do some... Well,
I did a lot of grinding in the beginning.
Yeah.
Like, before I got to the end where that competition area, my starter was already level 10.
I usually find if I just go against every trainer that I encounter, I'm at a decent level enough.
Right. Well, that's what you're supposed to do.
Oh, something I want to mention is that I'm cutting out all
grinding.
Whenever I go into a Pokemon Center, I cut it out because you don't need to see it.
Okay.
I'm also cutting out all wild encounters as long as, like, if I'm catching a Pokemon, I'll show it. But if it's just a random battle, I'm just gonna skip it.
Right.
And I'm also skipping. Also, another thing I'm skipping is I'm skipping any. If I'm only going to show necessary trainer battles. Right. So if there's a way where I can avoid a trainer, then I'll skip the battle with them.
Right.
Just to cut the bullshit. And that's. Man, my mom is hot, but anyway. And she was right there.
And she's stalking you.
Yep. It'd be hilarious if for once the mom just constantly follows you.
Right.
You're always under parental supervision.
Mm-hmm.
You're given the illusion that you're alone on a journey, but she's like right there.
What if like really controlling everything?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Turns out she's the champion, and you have to fight her.
That'd
be a pretty good twist.
Yeah, that would be
if the champion turned out to be your mom. Jesus. Champion mom.
You know what's kind of
challenges you?
They've never had a game where you have a dad.
Generation 3. You have a dad.
That's right.
Yeah.
Your dad's a gym leader, right?
Yeah.
Ah.
Yep. Norman.
But that's because May and what's his name's dad is Norman in the TV show.
Professor Birch. Or wait, no, is it Professor Birch?
May and her brother. Who are they?
May and her brother? Oh yeah, Max.
Max. Yeah, May and Max's dad is Norman, right?
Yeah.
In the TV show.
But it depends. In the games, it depends on.
So in the game, supposedly you're playing as Max.
No, because it's just depending on.
Well, the characters look like them.
I don't know if the male character looks like Max. Max is actually based on the student character that you meet in Generation 3.
Oh, okay.
Visually.
Well, you can definitely play as May. Well,
yeah.
The games.
But actually, the male. They usually have some cameos from the other male characters,
right? Like Brock.
No, I'm talking about like the player characters.
Oh,
so like for example, Generation 3, they had the guy with like the white hat on.
Uh-huh.
He made occasional cameos on the show,
okay.
but not speaking roles or anything.
Right.
Yeah. I just beat the first regular trainer.
Yeah.
I think
maybe Max just wasn't popular enough to be put into the game.
The what?
Max. Maybe Max just wasn't popular to be used as a character.
they just make up characters sometimes, you know.
Sometimes, yeah, but like they still use May.
I mean, the show is made. The show is made at like once the games are already in development. So the show. The only time where the show actually, I skipped that battle. But the only time when the show actually made a difference in the game development is Pokemon Yellow, and it was only slightly, you know.
Yeah, that was
Pikachu follows you.
Pikachu following it. By the way, did the Pokemon follow you in Leaf Green and or no? That's Soul Silver and stuff, right? Which games do the Pokemon follow you? It's that. Why don't they do that? Why don't they do that in the newer games? Like have your Pokemon follow you?
I don't know. I guess
it always seemed like a cool feature to me. Like you always look at it and see how it's doing.
Yeah, I guess. To me, it would have been just okay if they just had your starter follow you.
Right.
That would have.
You can have any Pokemon follow you, right?
Yeah, I know. Yeah. All of them. Yeah. I guess maybe they just didn't have enough space to have, because now they have 600 Pokemon that have 600 tiny animated sprites following you all the time.
You know what's hilarious? I remember seeing a cartoon drawing of this girl coming through the Pokemon Center entrance, and all of a sudden an Onix smashes through the back entrance.
God. Yeah. But in the game, they're like roughly
if you have Onix, if you have Onix following you in the game, and Onix was actually to scale, probably want people to fit inside buildings, or would at least demolish them and try to.
In some places in that game where the Pokemon is like insanely huge, they can't follow you, but still an Onix is pretty huge.
Oh man, remember the giant Dragonite from Season 1 of Pokemon?
Oh man. I think they just made a mistake about how big Dragonite is supposed to be.
Well, I mean, it's also possible that it was like just a legendary, freakishly huge Dragonite.
Yeah.
I mean, things like that have happened in Pokemon.
Yeah.
So, like Giovanni had a whole amusement park full of giant robotic Pokemon.
But they pretended they didn't know what the Pokemon was. So, like, maybe Dragonite at that point was such a rare, like, supposed to be so rare, and.
Well, no, was that Dragonite's reveal? Like, was that the first time we saw Dragonite in the
it was the first time.
Yeah, so they probably didn't have. They probably hadn't decided yet how big Dragonite should or shouldn't be.
In later episodes, they see Dragonite, and they're like.
Yeah, later episodes, but that's probably because
in the movie they saw a Dragonite and he was just delivering mail, and they're like, hey.
Yeah, but that's because they had actually decided how big it should be and what it should look like.
Well, the games define the size and weight in the Pokedex. But I don't know. Oh, and I ditched the Patrat, but I keep Lillipup. Lillipup is pretty useful, especially early on. I don't know if I'm gonna keep it with me as we go along, but yeah,
Right.
it's pretty useful.
I don't like its evolved form very much.
Just visually, or
Yeah.
I don't know. I like it. It's like a dog.
It's
It's not cute anymore, but
it's like a Yorkie.
yeah,
Yorkies are like, yeah,
yeah.
yeah.
Okay.
I'd rather something that looks like a husky. Something cool.
Something like Hondor, where it has like horns. And
Right.
Stuff. Or Houndoom, I mean.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't. Here's the thing.
Yeah.
I don't catch ugly Pokemon.
Okay. What do you mean by ugly?
Or Pokemon that I judge as not aesthetically pleasing.
I see. You just don't catch.
I don't
Sorry,
catch
ugly.
Pokemon that I don't think look cool, I don't catch.
Okay.
Unless I'm just trying
Unless you know they're gonna become something cool.
Yeah, unless I know they're gonna become something cool, or unless...
Like Magikarp. Screw you, Magikarp. I don't need you. And then, then you find out about Gyarados.
Screw you, Magikarp. Kick. Oh, Gyarados.
Oh. Kicked it into the river and then it evolves.
Yeah.
Oh, man. Screw you, level 19 Magikarp.
Oh, man, I remember I actually used to try to train Magikarp in the original game.
Yeah.
I would basically keep making it fight wild Pokemon, and you keep using Splash until it ran out of power points for that, and then I would buy potions for it, and I would revive. It would like bring back some of its HP by myself, and then I would have it keep using Struggle against wild Pokemon.
Yeah, but that must have taken 10 hours.
It took forever.
There are better ways.
I mean, you can always take it to the daycare.
Yeah.
But, yeah.
Oh man, in Black and White 2, they actually have stores where you can just buy levels. Like, you can just buy your Pokemon to level up. It's
really?
expensive, but yeah.
Wow.
You can get a...
Well, can't you just buy rare candy?
Huh?
Can't you just get rare candy?
You can't buy rare candy, though. You could never do that in the other games, but now they have a person who will just train your Pokemon to level 1.
Like,
you don't have to wait.
Instantaneously? Instead of
so,
a...
I'm assuming that at a certain point I'll have so much money where I can just get the person to just train my Pokemon to level 100 and not have to go to any of the extra trouble.
I forget, how did I... Oh, that's right, I would always do a rare candy cheat and then duplicate rare candy and then...
The problem with rare candy, though, is why I don't use it, though, is because there's this thing called EVs, called effort values. They're invisible ratings, so basically your Pokemon will become stronger depending on if they actually battle. Like, they'll get these extra statistics that will make them more powerful or something.
Right, so then using rare candy on them actually decreases the effort
Their
value.
stats will go up, but their effort values won't go up.
Okay.
Because everything's determined by what you did to get experience points and stuff. So. Yeah. This is actually this. Oh wait, this battle is mandatory. Never mind. Yeah. Purloin.
So wait, what's the name of the characters that this game is based on? Anyway, like, what's the default name?
Well, there's no default name in this game, so like you can't just pick a default name. But the official name of the two characters, they sound pretty ridiculous. The male character's named Hilbert, and the female character's named Hilda. Oh god. Definitely don't name your characters
like male
Hilbert
and female versions of each other, I guess.
I think Black and White 2s are cooler. I don't remember what they are, but I remember them definitely being cooler.
They look cooler. I know that.
The female character has Princess Leia hair. and the male character has Chewbacca hair.
Oh wait,
it took me forever.
I thought the new character had like really spiky hair and stuff. Or is that the... I don't know. I forget.
It took me forever to realize
Who are the characters from the trailer for Black and White 2? I remember a spiky-haired guy.
Oh no, that's not the player character. That's the rival.
I wish that was the player character.
His default name is Hugh, but you can change his name. Unlike this game where you can't change their names. But maybe they were planning that the whole time because they knew they were going to bring them back in in the next game and
Black and White 3.
Yeah, maybe they'll just surprise us. Maybe they'll just surprise us and keep the DS alive forever and only make Pokemon games on the DS.
I would, you know, I think they could do that because honestly, I think people would keep the console or the system just to play Pokemon.
Yeah. The Nintendo would be pissed. They'd be like, "Oh, come on, can you just make one for the 3DS, please, please?"
I think, well, I don't know, because they didn't really continue. I mean, even though the controls, you could still just use the pad to control the entire game. Like they didn't release a version of it for the older Game Boy, you know, handhelds.
What are you talking about? I'm sorry, I got lost.
No, even in the Pokemon games, you don't have to use a stylus, and there's no feature that you can use on the DS games of Pokemon that you couldn't conceivably do on the Game Boy Advance.
I'm gonna take out this. Okay, yeah.
Is it too loud?
Yeah. Well, I'm just having trouble following. Okay, go. Keep going.
So I just like, aside from the hardware, I see no reason why they couldn't have made Game Boy Advance versions of like the current games.
Then again, there's 3D stuff.
Right. No, like I said, aside from the hardware being able to run it. Aside from that.
Yeah. You could remake this game easily. I mean,
you know, when are they gonna stop coming up with different regions too? Do you think they're gonna hit a limit?
I don't know. It's a whole. I mean, the regions. Supposedly, the regions are just regions of the whole country, so it's just one country. So apparently, I guess I don't know. But, I'm
pretty sure it's one country. You don't have to go through custom and stuff.
I mean, Unova is like completely far out of the way.
Right.
I'd assume Unova is a completely different part of a completely different country. I think this is actually part of America because LT's Lieutenant Surge is apparently from America. He's called the Lightning American. So.
Oh really?
Yeah, he's called the Lightning American in red and blue. So yeah. Maybe this is part of the American country. Because, the other games' regions were based on Japan. And this game is
well, like they have the Kanto region. Yeah, that's an actual region in Japan, isn't it?
Yeah.
The Kanto region.
But yeah, you can take the regions and like have them sync up with
Is Johto a region in Japan?
All the regions are at least based on like the geography of real Japanese regions.
Right.
So yeah.
Well, maybe they'll come up with a region for like every country or something, or every continent.
Because we got New York covered with this game,
right?
At least parts of. We got some of New York and some other.
Or at least San Francisco because they have that huge bridge.
Yeah.
But
they have
maybe
kind of have LA in black and white too.
Maybe they'll stop after they create like a whole a world like based on every continent that we have, and then after they finish that, it'd be cool if they would make a remake of the game, of every game, and just combine all the regions into like one big world that you can go to.
I don't know if they do that. I keep hearing people want that, but I just can't see them doing that from like a practical way.
Well, I mean, think about it. They could conceivably, like, on this technology that they have, like, okay, if they created, like, every region so far...
But I could just play the games and go there.
In the current game's technology.
Yeah.
And just make every region, and every Pokemon from that region, and all the characters from those regions. It wouldn't be that demanding, spec-wise.
I don't know, I could just play the games, I have them.
I know.
The cool thing about the DS is that you can technically play every region on just the DS. Like every region is available.
3DS, and they take out the Game Boy Advance game slot for the 3DS.
For the DSi and 3DS, but I'm talking about the DS, the original DS and the DS Lite. You can play every region is there on the DS.
Right.
It's pretty much the ultimate system for Pokemon. You can play 5 different games.
Is there a 3D option in Pokemon Black and White?
No,
there's not.
There was some rumors before it came out, and this game came out like a couple weeks before the 3DS came out. So
I could have sworn I thought I heard about someone saying that the 3D for Pokemon Black and White wasn't all that great.
Well, then
even though there was no 3D for Black and White,
they must have just been talking crazy.
Well, what happens if you try...
I can't see the 3D and they're just looking
What happens if you try to turn on the 3D feature while you're playing black and white?
The thing about the 3D feature is that it just turns off for things that don't use it. So there's a light that says 3D.
Uh-huh.
And when you can't use it, it turns off. So yeah. When it's on, you can use it. That's how it works.
Huh.
Yeah. I can show it to you right now. I have mine.
Oh, really?
Okay, yeah. Well, let me just get it.
Because I always figured that, I mean, since Pokemon games, it's just sprites and it's actually layers.
See how I'm on the menu 3D. So that means I can use that. When I go on the browser, which isn't in 3D, then yeah, it will turn off. That's how it works.
Because, like, I'm assuming Pokemon games, they have a lot of layers in terms. Have you ever been on of course, you've been on like Photoshop and stuff, right?
What?
Have you been on Photoshop?
Yeah.
Like Photoshop uses layers. And you'd think that 3D would be easier to achieve when you're working in a system with layers, right?
Yeah, but then again, I don't think the DS's game cards are compatible with it though. It's just as far as
what?
Because they're
compatible with what?
Compatible with like the 3DS as far as using the 3D. I don't think the cartridges...
Like you don't think the games like the 3DS would actually convert it into 3D? You mean?
Or are you just talking about the 3DS turning this into 3D? Like itself? I don't know if we can do that.
Because like supposedly there are things out there that take like normal footage and turn it 3D. Like it's not like true 3D, but it's kind of like a midpoint to 3D.
Just like cardboard cutouts? Or what do you mean?
I don't know, I guess.
Oh yeah, we're in the gym, so...
Remember back when Spy Kids 3D was coming out?
Yeah.
And they were advertising it as like, oh, this is 3D, it's amazing. It'll give you 3D glasses inside the box. And they were crap.
Well, I only saw the movie on DVD, but it was also 3D in theaters. That was back when 3D wasn't really
3D.
Well, not necessarily just that, but it was back when 3D was just legitimately just... They'd always mention that there's 3D in the movie, and they'd always like, "Oh, look, my hand is coming towards you," and stuff.
Yeah.
Like, where it wasn't something that was usual. Now we have 3D all the time,
right?
And it's not done in such a way. But yeah, that's the end of the part. I was about to go against Silent, one of the gym leaders,
but no, we're gonna leave you with cliffhanger.
And I could have actually explained the way the gym leaders work in this game, but no.
But we'll explain it next episode. So if you like this episode, be sure to like, leave a comment. Or if you like the Sequence Breakers in general, you can always subscribe. Once again, this has been Kodo.
Oh god, I'm seeing a spoiler alert for Black and White 2 in one of the recommended videos. Fuck. I'm like, I'm not at that part yet. Are you kidding me?
Alright.
Whatever.
So this has been Kodo.
Sid.
Signing off.